I can't believe that I work for a company that's 100 years old.
When Herb was born, it was really willpower that went into the early days.
He was the local boy competing with the out-of-staters.
He built a company from nothing, and it's still here today.
This company built the roads that we drive on.
Highways, site work, wind farm, solar farm.
At the end of the day, it comes down to people. Nothing happens without people.
This work is not for everybody. There's so much involved.
The equipment's changed, production has gone up, projects are probably bigger.
When you work for a company that was founded in Maine, founded by a Maine man, that has an extra meaning to people.
I am proud to work at Sargent.
It's cool to see a company last 100 years. You don't see that.
When Herb was born, he was born into a society that really had more in common with George Washington society.
You were up before the sun rose and you worked until after the sun was down. Life in Alton, Maine was very basic. It's horse, buggy, and wagon.
Maine is very rural now, so if we went back 100 years, life was pretty challenging.
They didn't have lunch at that time. They would have a hearty breakfast, work all day, and then have a meal in the evening.
I don't know that we have the same work ethic we did back then. I hope we have a fraction of it.
We've got a picture in our office of Herb standing on the front step of his one-room schoolhouse, and he looked out past the Dumpkeg Mountain and said, I wonder if I'll ever travel that far in my life.
Growing up without much, he saw opportunity in construction.
I think he just had that entrepreneurial spirit, thought, you know what, I can make a go of this, I can build some cool things. And I think that entrepreneurial spirit carried him the whole way through.
I mean, he built a lot of what you drive on today.
They were building things that they had never built before in his lifetime. They were mostly into highway work and some airport work as well. And he knew how to overcome obstacles.
There was no road up through there to Alton. They accomplished quite a feat to get that done.
He got a reputation because a lot of the contractors that he competed against were out-of-state contractors. So he was the local boy competing with the out-of-staters.
He walked projects. He didn't drive them, he walked them, all of them.
Now when it comes to equipment, he would buy the best, and he would buy the most. It was up and coming, had a good team around him.
About a month after I started working there, he came into my office and he said, you make sure you never cheat anybody, that you're always fair.
As Herb would say, when you make a deal with somebody, you're shaking their hand with my hand. To put that kind of gravity on his word was an important thing to him. I don't know that he ever said to himself, I need to go make an impact. I think it was just a way of life for him.
Herb Sargent had a good reputation. There's a name that they don't have to. He says, take the bull by the horn. He built his legacy on that.
He built a company from nothing, and it's still here today.
He deserves the accolades that he gets because of that.
Old Herb retired in '75, and young Herb's father, Jim Sargent, took over in '75, and I think he was more growth orientated. So they started diversifying out of strictly earth moving.
Jim weathered some challenging times. Some of the highway work had slowed down a little bit. Inflation got massively out of control in the early 80s. Interest rates were up around 13%. So there was a lot there to weather. From what I understand, he was a fair man, but it could be a firm man as well.
He'd end up on the job site once a week. As soon as that happened, everybody came up stiff and right out.
Jim tried to come up with enough work to keep the 300 or 400 people busy. In order to get it, the competition was tough.
We were fortunate enough that we had pretty good operators. I mean, really good operators, really.
We were working 10 hours a day, half a day Saturdays back then.
They wanted to do their work, they said, do it. When you're done, keep right on going.
You know, you don't have to talk to too many people before they've either got an uncle or a brother or a cousin that's worked for Sargent. I think that's a legacy in itself.
I believe the legacy that we've left behind is one of leaving it better than we found it wherever we go.
We've definitely done a lot of work to better the state of Maine.
New Pittsfield, Newport, Plymouth, Etna.
In Augusta, Sydney.
H.E. Sargent set the bar for all the earth-moving contractors in the area. I believe that we had something to do with over 80% of the interstate from Kittery to Holton. And if you had an H.E. Sargent hat on, you were something.
We continued to do the highway, the airports, utility work.
One of our engineers that we worked for asked us to do some work for him down in Baltimore.
Some of that soil reminds you of peanut butter, just horrible stuff. We had to aerate it out in the landfill. Well, they were so impressed with that they were calling our competition down there, saying, you gotta come in and see what these guys are doing. These guys are knocking it out.
They had more projects in Virginia. We did a job in Pennsylvania, out in Ohio.
Some of the original people chose to buy houses and move their families down here. Now we've been here for 30 years. It's amazing to think how quickly that has gone by.
Undoubtedly, when it came time to sell the company, that was probably not an easy decision to have to make.
It was hard for me at first, but my dad was always clear, there's no gift here.
1988, we were sold to Rizal, which was a large French company.
That's when things started changing. We started keeping equipment longer, running it into the ground.
They didn't want any maintenance at all.
And that company ended up being sold to Billfinger Burger.
A man didn't mean as much to them as they meant to Sargent.
I would say the company was slowly being strangled.
I think there were things about H.E. Sargent that Herb certainly loved, and then there may have been things that he wanted to do a little bit differently.
Herb was traveling a lot, and he had a family, raising kids, and obviously he didn't see the role that I think he should have got up into the operations manager and then so on and so forth. So,
if he couldn't do it at H.E. Sargent, then he was going to start his own company and do it.
You know, a pretty bold move in his late 20s with nothing to go from other than maybe a little bit of a family name there that you hope might open a door or two. They ran lean, they had good people, and they went out and did nice work and got a lot of stuff done.
And so I think you got a little bit different version when Herb started Sargent, but it was extremely similar.
We'd grown up in the same family, like twins. You're trying to compete and win a project, and you want every edge you can, and we were going at each other.
When everybody got tired of working H.E. Sargent, they would go to work for Sargent, so we knew all the people over there. Sometimes they'd even come back.
it was not good at that point because we were just beating each other up, and the only thing would happen is the prices would go down. The only people winning on that was the customers.
Sargent bought H.E. Sargent. The little fish ate the big fish. To Herb's credit, it was a big difference in size.
My grandfather was still alive at the time, 99 years old. His advice was, if this thing passes on the business merits, great, but don't get involved in the nostalgic merits of buying the family business back. Pretty important piece of advice from him to just keep my head level and keep the ego out of it. We had one chance to get it right. When we finally got through the long closing day, July 21st, 2005, it was like, okay, we can breathe now, we can go build stuff.
And my first thought it was good, it's back where it belongs.
I think it was a great move. Take a couple companies, put them together, and make it happen.
He knew us, we knew them. It was just such a smooth transition.
The Mid-Atlantic was going to stay whole, everybody was going to keep a job, and I think a lot of us took him for his word, and he lived up to it.
It was a great feeling to have both companies together. By, I believe it was October, we combined them together in a real way and just called it Sargent Corporation.
That was one of Herb's big focuses, is we're going to go back to our core purpose of doing earthwork projects, and we did that.
We would not be bidding projects and hoping to make a profit. We would be bidding projects and making a profit.
That makes a big difference when you're putting together multi-million-dollar bids.
In a way, it was back to the roots, pioneering roads.
Within our company, challenge tends to foster teamwork and it brings out the best in people. And when you put enough motivated people together, you can accomplish anything.
You know, we've had some tough projects, but we seem to always be able to find a way to keep going.
There's a noble cause associated with the work that we do. I really just feel very proud to be associated with the people that build the projects that we build.
People just take it for granted. I mean, water lines, sewer lines, all those things, airports. But it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of ingenuity to do all that.
We investigate crazy ideas, even if they sound really far out there, because sometimes they really work.
We need to keep the job moving, even when things are going bad. We don't quit.
We knew we needed to backfill that retirement wave coming. You know, our average age was getting up there of our field workforce, so that's when we started our Sargent Construction Academy.
I talked to a lot of different companies struggling to find quality people, and we're finding them.
As you continue to learn how to do your job and do your job well, then you're given increasing responsibility, and people are kind of mentoring along the way.
You know, when I started, there was so many people that had been here for 20, 30, 40 years, and now that's kind of transitioning into I'm that person.
With the amount of people that have gone through the academy, I mean, that's brought us 50, 60 great employees. They're the next leaders of the company.
People talk about our workforce advancement. I don't blame them. I'm so proud.
That's why this company is going to succeed for, I think, another 100 years or more.
You know, what better way for succession than going employee-owned?
The tax efficiency of an ESOP really allows you to build up a long-term future for our employees.
You're not just working for Herb, you're working for yourself and all your other coworkers.
I'm a part owner, right? I'm an owner of that dozer. We own the job.
Sargent's helped me reach places that I never thought I would have reached. It's helped me provide for my family and my future.
I've had a good journey, good career. I've had fun.
I hear positive things said about Sargent everywhere I go, and that's a good feeling.
We want to be an impactful company and then be the best in the world at building people and deploying those people to build great projects. I was born in the dirt business, and I've never known anything else. To be here at the dawn of a second century is really something.
You know, being 100 years old is a remarkable milestone.
Being able to look back and see you as a part of something as big as Sargent is very gratifying.
Sargent's built to last because we have the mentality we want to last. Our ability to adapt and change is the reason we're still here. If we continue to invest in people, owning our craft, we do the right thing, keep winning in the field, we're never going to stop building.
If they can do that, they'll get to 200 years.
I don't want to let anybody down from the previous 100 years. It's our responsibility to continue the Sargent legacy and name.
We will be the same fantastic company in 100 years that we are today.
I appreciate Herb to start from that beginning thinking, as far as I can see is probably as far as I'll go, to amassing what this company is today. I wonder if he, at the end of his life, thought back and was just impressed by himself. I hope he was.